These notes go over how to find the circumference of a circle. And circumference of a circle, circumference is perimeter. So for all other shapes, it's just called perimeter. It's the distance around the outside. But for a circle, we call that circumference. But it's still the distance around the outside of the circle. A couple words you need to know are radius and diameter. Radius is a straight line from the outer edge to the center of the circle. So radius is what this is right here. It's what's halfway. And then diameter goes all the way across the circle. So diameter is a straight line passing from side to side through the center of a circle. And then we've already talked about this symbol a little bit, but the pi symbol is going to be used in both of the formulas to find these, and it looks like that. It's supposed to be a little bit neater than that, but pi is a symbol, or this is a symbol used to represent pi, and the numbers used for pi are 3.14, which you should already kind of know that because we celebrated it on March 14th. Pi goes on forever, but whenever you're doing the math, you just use the decimal 3.14. Okay. So I've got the calculator pulled up on your screen. Here's our formulas. When you're given the radius, you have to use the formula circumference equals 2 times pi times r standing for radius. So 2 times pi, meaning 2 times 3.14. Sorry, it's kind of slow to write with this. And then r for radius. All right? So then when you're given the diameter, it's just circumference equals diameter times pi. Goodness. Okay. All right, time to do the math. So on the first 3 examples, it just gives you radius, which means you're going to use the first formula we did. And it gives you a radius of 11. So that's going to be 2 times 3.14 times 11. So let's go over here. 2 times 3.14 times, and if the radius is 11, then 11 equals 69.08. And then it would also be labeled as feet. It's not feet squared because it's not area. It's just the same thing as perimeter, and perimeter is not labeled in squared feet. All right, next one. We've got a radius of 7. So 2 times 3.14 times 7 equals 43.96. This is super sloppy, but if you're listening to it, then you'll know what I'm typing, writing. It's supposed to be in yards. Okay, the next one has a decimal. So we've got 2 times 3.14. And what's our decimal? 11.8. 74.104. I want you guys to practice rounding, so let's round this guy to the nearest hundredth, since our other 2 answers are in hundredths. This, it won't let me write over there. The 0 is in the hundredths place, and that 4 to the right of it isn't going to make it round up to a 1. So it would just stay as 74.10 feet. It won't let me type. There we go. Next 3, it gives you the diameter. So we've got to use the formula for, basically, if you noticed on the formula where it gives you radius, the reason why you're multiplying by 2 is because it wants the distance all the way across the circle. So if radius is just halfway, they multiply it by 2 to find the diameter. So whenever it gives you the diameter, you don't have to do that extra step of multiplying it by 2. You just take it and multiply it by pi. So on the first one, it has 5 meters as the diameter. So take 5 and multiply it by 3.14. And you get 15.7 meters. Next one is a diameter of 8, so 8 times 3.14, 25.12 yards. Last one, it's got a decimal, so 23.4 inches is your diameter. 23.4 times pi equals... All right, so let's round this to the nearest hundredth, which this 7 is in the hundredths place. So it would be 73.48. This 6 would make the 7 round up. 48 inches. All right, so once again, now that we actually have our numbers, you can kind of see. So if from one side through the center to the other is 8 yards on this circle, but the entire outside is 25. So that's what perimeter's finding. Make sure you have all of this copied down, and then you can glue it into your notebook.